Welcome to Royal Telly. I'm your host, Chloe, bringing you the latest in royal family intrigue. Today, we're delving into the royal family's recent attempt to control the narrative around Prince Harry's trip to Canada, a trip that was planned almost a year ago by charities for Remembrance Day events. But as it clashed with Prince William's Earthshot Prize ceremony in Brazil, the royal machine started to churn, spinning a tale of suspicious intent and deliberate overshadowing. According to the whispers, from unnamed palace aides to tabloid media houses, even Harry breathing too loudly is enough to cause an international crisis. The narrative they were trying to push was that Harry's trip was a deliberate attempt to steal the limelight from William's legacy-defining Earthshot Prize ceremony. But let's take a moment to consider the Earthshot Prize. It's supposed to be William's global, legacy-defining achievement. Yet despite being coated in celebrity glitter, the event seems to land with a soft thud year after year. Is it because the public is not fooled by the incongruity of lecturing the world about sustainability while maintaining one of the most expensive, resource-consuming lifestyles on the planet? Meanwhile, the universe had its own plot twist in store: Sir David Beckham. Beckham, whom Prince William believed was firmly in his corner, was awarded a top honor, a stark reminder that loyalty based on proximity to power is fragile, and the palace no longer holds all the cards. Then came the meltdown surrounding Harry's trip. Suddenly, sources close to the household were claiming confusion and outrage, all because Harry allegedly didn't send the right message through the right channel at the right time. But in a surprising turn of events, Harry didn't back down. He didn't apologize for existing. His team confirmed that Royal Communications was consulted and informed of his Canada plans in advance. The royal machine tried to spin a story, but it seems they might have underestimated Prince Harry. Let's delve into the Earthshot Prize, Prince William's legacy-defining project. It's a venture that has been dressed up and paraded around in an attempt to capture the world's attention. The prize, with its focus on environmental sustainability and climate change solutions, is a noble one indeed. But despite the celebrity sparkle and grandeur that surrounds it, it seems to land with a soft thud year after year. Why, you might ask? Let's paint a picture. The Earthshot Prize advocates for sustainable living, for preserving our planet and its resources. It's an admirable mission, no doubt. But here's where things get a bit, let's say, contradictory. The very people championing this cause lead some of the most resource-consuming lifestyles on the planet. Private jet trips, palatial homes, extravagant vacations, and taxpayer-funded renovations. Hardly the epitome of sustainability, wouldn't you say? It's like trying to sell a diet plan while gorging on a chocolate cake. The public, quite rightly, questions the authenticity of the message when the messengers don't seem to be walking the talk. But the royal PR machine keeps churning, attempting to elevate the Earthshot Prize to a global sensation. They parade it in front of the cameras, they coat it in celebrity glitter, they tout it as Prince William's legacy-defining achievement. Yet, the public isn't buying it. Perhaps it's the stark contrast between the prize's sustainability focus and the royal family's lifestyle. Perhaps it's the disconnect between the glittering facade and the reality that lies beneath. Either way, the public isn't easily fooled. The math simply isn't adding up. And so, the Earthshot Prize, for all its potential and noble intentions, remains a project that struggles to gain the traction it seeks. It's a stark reminder that authenticity matters, that actions speak louder than words, and that in the end, the public can see through the glitz and glamour to the truth beneath. The public isn't easily fooled, and the math simply isn't adding up. Then, the unexpected happened. David Beckham, the royal family's supposed ally, was awarded a top honor. This was a moment that sent shockwaves through the royal establishment. Here was Beckham, a man who had been firmly ensconced within the royal circle, seemingly shifting his allegiances. The implications were far-reaching, leaving the royal family grappling with the reality of their diminished control and influence. As the cheers for Beckham echoed, it became clear that the balance of power had shifted. The royal family, once believed to be the puppet masters, were now facing a reality where the strings were being pulled away from them. This wasn't just about an award, it was a stark reminder of the transient nature of power and loyalty. It was a wake-up call that the royal family could not control every narrative or command unwavering loyalty. The palace no longer holds all the cards, but the real drama unfolded around Harry's trip to Canada. The palace, it seems, had a meltdown. Suddenly, the narrative spun out of control. Sources close to the household were quoted extensively in the media, voicing confusion, even outrage. The story was that Harry hadn't sent the right message, through the right channel, at the right time. It was as if Harry's simple trip to Canada for a charity event was a deliberate act of defiance, a calculated move to upstage his brother's Earthshot prize ceremony. The tabloids latched onto this narrative with a fervor that was almost palpable. Harry, it seemed, could do no right. But while this was happening, something else was playing out behind the scenes. This was a pattern that we've seen play out time and again. It's a dark, twisted cycle that goes something like this. The palace pushes Harry away, then weaponizes his attempts to keep the lines of communication open. They slap him publicly, then play the victim privately. This time, though, something was different. Something had fundamentally shifted. Harry didn't back down. He didn't apologize for simply existing. His team confirmed the truth, that royal communications had been consulted and informed of his Canada plans in advance. The palace, so used to operating in a world where their word is automatically believed, was left floundering. This wasn't about a miscommunication or a misunderstanding. This was a deliberate attempt to create a headline that painted Harry as the problem. Why? Because the institution couldn't survive Harry being right, Harry being independent, Harry being free. His very existence as a self-sufficient adult, thriving outside the palace walls with Meghan Sussex, exposes the truth. Those walls are unnecessary. His ability to thrive outside the palace undermines the core lie that the monarchy built around him. A familiar cycle, but this time something fundamentally shifted. Prince Harry didn't back down. Now there's a sentence that rings with the sound of defiance, doesn't it? And it's true. Amidst the swirling chaos of accusations and miscommunications, Harry stood his ground. He didn't apologize for existing, for breathing, for daring to live his life on his own terms. Instead, he did something that sent shockwaves through the palace walls. His team confirmed the truth. The royal communications were consulted and informed of his plans to visit Canada in advance. It was a simple declaration, but one that shattered the palace's narrative into 1,000 pieces. The palace, you see, is used to operating in a world where their word is automatically believed. They've built an empire on this unspoken rule. But Harry, with his calm and straightforward truth, challenged this. He didn't engage in a shouting match. He didn't resort to petty name-calling or mudslinging. He simply stated the facts. And the palace? They were left scrambling, unsure of how to handle a man who refused to play by their rules. They were left exposed, their tactics laid bare for all the world to see. But this isn't just about a miscommunication. Far from it. This is a deliberate attempt to create a headline, to paint Harry as the problem. Because let's face it, the institution cannot survive Prince Harry being right. They can't bear the thought of Harry being independent, of Harry being free. His very existence as a self-sufficient adult, flourishing outside the palace walls with Meghan Sussex, is a direct challenge to the monarchy's very core. It exposes the truth that those walls, those traditions, those expectations are unnecessary. Harry's ability to thrive, to live his life authentically and without apology, destroys the lie that the monarchy built around him. And that, my friends, is why Harry didn't back down. The palace's word is no longer automatically believed. It's a new era, and Prince Harry is leading the charge. Now that's a narrative worth celebrating. This isn't about a miscommunication. It's a deliberate attempt to paint Harry as the problem. And why is that? It's because the very institution of monarchy is shaken by Prince Harry's independence. It's a shock wave that ripples through the core of this age-old establishment. Prince Harry is not just surviving, but thriving outside the confines of the palace. He's not just existing, but flourishing alongside Meghan Sussex. His independence, his freedom, his success, all these are a direct contradiction to the narrative the monarchy has carefully crafted around him. By breaking free, Harry is not just challenging the status quo, he's redefining it. He's debunking the myth that those palace walls are indispensable, that they are essential for a royal to thrive. Harry's thriving outside the palace walls exposes how unnecessary those walls truly are. His journey is not just a personal triumph, but a revolutionary statement that's reshaping the royal narrative one day at a time.